Tell me, Anna, what's the vibe today? Taylor's got the tea and Anna's got the say. Laugh a little louder, spill it all the way. Tell me, Anna, and press play.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Tell
Me,
Anna.
And
Today we're going to be talking about the movie Megan 2.0.
Yeah, and it's going to be super fun because we know so much facts, and it's going to be awesome.
I know so much facts. You haven't seen it.
Well, that's true, but still, I love creepy stuff. And anyway, Taylor's going to tell us some interesting facts, right, Taylor?
Yes. One thing I liked about Megan 2.0 was Megan had a lot of funny lines.
Why don't you tell us the funny lines?
Well, there was one point in the movie where Jenna and Katie and like all those people are rebuilding her. And she asks them, and Jenna asks Megan what, if there's anything she wanted to be for the new version of her. And the only thing she had to say is, I want to be taller.
That's hilarious. Can I tell you something about my childhood?
Sure. Does it relate to the story?
No, but it is a creepy story that has happened. But before we do that, how about you tell us some scary scenes?
Well, in Megan 2.0, there's lots of scenes where Megan and the new robot that's in the movie, Amelia, are killing people. But one thing I like about the movie is Megan got a redemption at the end, because she was helping stop Amelia, which was nice.
Wow, I have a question.
What?
If anyone doesn't know what redemption means, why don't you tell us?
Well, redemption means that she basically turned good. She was forgiven to a certain point.
Wow, that's really nice. Now, am I allowed to tell you my story?
Sure.
Well, one time I hung this, glowy ball thingy, it's kind of like a slinky, but except for it's like a ball that lights up and it's orange and it has this little line that you can attach your finger to. And
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, and I hung the little circle line that you can put on your finger on one of my light bulbs, and I spun it really fast, and usually balls like that go out in 3 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. Well, mine was staying for 20 minutes, and 15 minutes later, I checked, and I was like, yikes. And then it stopped whenever I wasn't looking at it, but then when I started looking at it again, it just started going up again. And I just got that weird feeling there was a presence there. And another story is I was at my grandma's house, and there was this roll of toilet paper kind of.
Oh, you told me this story before.
Yeah, and I grabbed it because I was trying to wipe something up in the bathroom, and then I didn't go that hard, and it just kept spinning really fast, and then it stopped out of nowhere, and then I was running out of the bathroom, but I didn't tell my grandma because that would have seemed weird to her, and then she wouldn't want to go in that bathroom, and I didn't want to creep her out, but still, it was pretty creepy.
Yeah, that stuff can always be creepy, especially in old homes grandparents' houses and older houses like that.
Why don't you tell us a story? I remember you telling me the time where, know what, how about you tell?
Well, I've had several occurrences with
creepy stuff, you know?
Creepy stuff, ghosts. But there was one time at my grandma's house where I was alone, and my grandma was out of town at this point, so I was alone there, and usually when I get there I just sit on the couch and play on my phone for a bit, but this time the bedroom door kind of slammed shut. It wasn't exactly a slam shut, but how your door closes and it makes some noises.
Because I remember you told me you left it open.
I left it open.
Not slam shut, but
it shut. It shut and made a noise, and and when I looked to go see what it was, the door shut, and I wasn't anywhere near it, and I could also hear boots moving around inside my grandma's bedroom too.
Who do you think it was?
Well, I assume it's my grandpa because that used to be his bedroom. He used to wear boots all the time. And he always said that, like, you should keep the door shut just in case of intruders or something.
That sounds like him because what you just told us, it sounds like him because he would shut the door.
He would shut the door. He would wear boots all of a sudden. He would wear, not all of a sudden, he would wear boots, like, all around everywhere. Those were his daily shoes.
And I remember you telling me that there was
A rocking horse. Is that what you're thinking
a rocking horse, yeah.
Yeah, so my grandpa, he was a horse rider. He also was a bull rider. But when, like, there's this one time where we had this old broken, like, rocking horse. Like, it wasn't broken. It was just, like...
Yeah, like, I've seen it before.
Yeah, you've seen it before. So, like, the button was broken. But there was a button that you'd press, and it would go, neigh, neigh, like, make horses sounds. But, like, But if you pressed it, it wouldn't work. But, like, my grandma would always go to find it, like, rocking back and forth when she wasn't nowhere near it. She'd hear it neighing when the thing was broken sometimes. And we always assumed it was Grandpa because he was a horse rider.
Yeah, and I also remember you telling me that you heard boots downstairs, too.
Yeah, I hear boots in the basement all the time. But that's what was one of his hangout spots when he was still around. So
Yeah, probably because he was like...
that was one of his hangout spots. A lot of his stuff was down there. So that's just where we would hang out.
Yeah. So do you know any other creepy parts? Tell us the creepiest part that you thought was really creepy.
Well, I always thought it was creepy because, when it first started happening, I was freaked out because there were just boots going around. They were always, like, in the basement. And the basement's, like, usually the creepiest part of the house. Either that or the attic. But my grandma's house doesn't have an attic. But, like, it was always kind of weird because, like, the basement, like, no one's ever down there and all that stuff. So it was just kind of weird to hear footsteps that aren't mine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. So...
But I always like to think that if there's a ghost, they're not here to hurt me. Usually I know if they're not going to hurt me, because if they were going to hurt me,
they probably would have done it.
They probably would have done it, and they probably would have been more subtle about it. Like, wouldn't make so much noise, or it makes, like, all that. And also, I just believe that usually it's someone that's here to protect you, or someone you've known in your life that's here. I don't like to think that it's evil spirits or anything. And usually it's not. There's a very slim chance that it is evil spirits, because usually it's just people that are trying to live their afterlife peacefully, or people that you've known that are just trying to look out for you.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but just to leave that on a cheerful note, I think nobody should worry about ghosts or anything like that, because ghosts
are friendly.
Most ghosts are friendly, yes. And even if they aren't kind ghosts, you can always tell them to leave. You can always tell them to leave or leave you alone. And hopefully they'll listen. And usually there are good spirits also looking out for you that are trying to keep those bad spirits away.
But anyway, we'll see you next time on the next episode
of Tell
Me
Anna.
Bye, guys.